Hey, what's up guys, Luckz here bringing you a new video, and today we'll be taking a look at LEGO set 21117, the Ender Dragon. This set came out in 2014 and it retailed for $69.99 USD. This is a pretty special set because this is the first end set that came in minifigure form, and it was a pretty sizable one, with the Ender Dragon build being much bigger than the more recent set with the Ender Dragon Slayer skin. But yeah, I'm excited to take a look at it, so without further ado, let's dive right in. Alrighty guys, well here we have it, the whole set built up in its entirety. And before we take a look at the actual builds, I thought we'd just take a quick look at the minifigures that are included in here. So now first up here we have Steve, and he comes with a diamond sword and a bow and arrow accessory, along with a full set of diamond armor from the boots to the helmet. And obviously he's going to need it, he's going to be fighting the final boss, so more power to him. This is your typical Steve we've been getting since the beginning of Lego Minecraft pretty much, so there's not any unique printing underneath all that armor. Obviously it comes with the blue legs, or light blue legs, to represent the diamond boots and leggings. But besides that, it's your pretty typical Steve, just with a few accessories to take down this boss. But yeah, this is the Steve figure. Now next up here is the Enderman. 3 of these are included in the set, completely identical build, and obviously it's also the same block that they're carrying. They're carrying Endstone. And you know, it's a pretty simple design that we've known to get used to. Always great to get more of these. These guys are pretty neat for sure, and one of the more iconic mobs of this game as well. But yeah, the real special part is obviously the printing on the head, which is the Enderman eyes, which is probably the most defining feature about these guys, as well as their tall bodies. But besides that, yeah, that's the Enderman. Pretty simple, not too much detail on these guys, but you don't really need it. Again, the eyes are the important part, and I'm pretty sure they nailed that pretty well. So yeah, you get 3 of these guys in the set, but yeah, those are the figures included. Now moving on to the builds. Alright guys, now that we're done looking at the minifigures that are included, we can take a look at the actual builds that comes with the set. There are quite a few, honestly, that are all separate from each other. Some big, some small, so we're going to start off from smallest to greatest pretty much. So yeah, let's get started. Alright guys, here we go. First off, we got the end platform, where you end up spawning in as soon as you jump through the end portal. This is obviously a smaller version. It's not typically this small, but it's just trying to show or indicate that this is where you would spawn, this is where you would start. And yeah, it's a cool little reference, or feature I should say, considering this is a big part of the end once you start your journey to kill the dragon. So yeah, a small neat little build, not too much. Has obviously 4 torches on each corner, but yeah, that's the end platform. Moving on. Alright, next up here is the end portal. Now this is the final end portal that spawns in or activates once you kill the Ender Dragon itself. As you can see, it has the 4 torches where you can grab and use it to actually capture the Ender Egg, or whatever method you choose to use. But the torch method is a pretty popular one. Now the Ender Egg is actually these 2 pieces. It's nothing too special. Obviously, I wouldn't mind a custom molded Ender Dragon egg piece, but that's not what we got. But for what this is, I think it works for sure. A little spherical around for, you know, a Minecraft set, but you know, it gets the idea across. It's egg shaped, so we're good. And obviously they represent the little portal animation / texture using these translucent blue bricks, which I think they work pretty well. They get the idea across. It's pretty weird at first, but once it all comes together, I think it works for sure. Obviously all this gray is meant to be bedrock, given that the entire portal is made out of bedrock in the actual game as well. So that's what I assume it's trying to represent. But yeah, pretty simple, but you know, it works. It works. Definitely a neat and I would say crucial inclusion to put on here. Now moving on. Next up here is the Big Mama herself, the Ender Dragon. And this is a pretty substantial build, at least from what we were used to with the most recent set, if that's the only one you've had experience with. And yeah, let's take a closer look at it. Obviously, here's the front, here's the Ender Dragon, the printed eyes, and obviously the printed mouth tile down here as well. There's a pretty good movement you can do there, and also with the ears, I believe these are they're probably horns, but you can move those as well if you please. Obviously, you got all the spike pattern leading from the neck all the way to the tail at the end over here, which is all posable. Like, you can move this individually, each brick you see here, so it has some movement. You can pose it a good bit of ways in whichever you choose. Obviously, you notice that here we got a different looking spike, and this is actually a play feature. If you push down on it, it actually makes the wings flap. Now these aren't brick build wings, these are actually like custom molded. Obviously, you can see here these specific wings and this black color, and we're only using 2 sets in this set, obviously, and the most recently released Batmobile, I believe. Just a neat little fact. Obviously, you can see the blue pins, which isn't nice there. Still wish they made them in black. I don't know why they haven't yet. I guess it's to find them or differentiate them easier in certain builds, but still, they really need to make that piece in black or dark gray or something. But like I said, you can flap the wings. You got pulsability down here in the legs as well. You can have it facing any position, ready to pounce, or just laying down on its stomach. Obviously, I don't have too much room here, but I can try to show you here. Obviously, you can see the joints and hear them probably, so there you go. It's doing push-ups or whatever you really want it to do. As long as the weight doesn't become an issue, you can really pose it in any position you wish and have it look really good. But yeah, this is the Ender Dragon build. Not too many play features from back in the day, but it definitely looks like a really good model. The one complaint I have is maybe over here in the head, these studs showing out, they make the head look a little bit wider than it should be, but honestly, I got used to it. This was my first impressions when I first started building it, and even looking at it in pictures, but now that I have it in hand, it all looks great, honestly. Very beautiful model, very beautifully built. Maybe if it had brick build wings, it'll look even more accurate, but as far as I'm concerned, this is probably the best iteration of the Ender Dragon that we've seen. Obviously, there's only been 2, but it can still get that title, in my opinion. Anyways, let's move on to the final build. And last but not least, here we actually have the end layout. Now, the tan blocks are represented by the tan brick pieces. Obviously, this is also used for sand, so really you can have double uses for this if you really want a Ender Dragon or end display. But it works well, you can't really argue about that. So yeah, it's mainly a bunch of hills and structure. But yeah, this build is a pretty simple one using bricks and some flat tiles / base plates to make the layout look a little hilly, and just have area for these end crystal towers to be placed. Now, unlike the newer set, these end crystals don't really have any play features. These are just here to look good. And arguably, I could say that this looks better than the newer one, at least design-wise, I think. You have the yellow, translucent yellow brick here to represent the fire underneath it, and obviously the translucent pieces to give that crystal design. Now, something special about one of these towers is that actually the tallest tower, if we take a closer look at it, excuse the shaky camera, actually has a play feature of its own, which is the light brick. Now, this light brick obviously is included in representing the actual light that it gives off from the flame underneath. And it's a pretty neat feature. It's not really anything outstanding, but it's something that is definitely nice to include in these sets. So one last thing to mention is actually that with this tall tower, it can fall off pretty easily. This piece right here, the crystal, because it's not actually attached, unlike this one. These aren't attached either, but they have a pretty good amount of pieces that makes it stay in place, unlike this one. It's just really the light brick taking its place. So you gotta be a little bit careful moving it around, or in case it falls. So yeah, overall it's a really good layout. I like how they represent the different heights of the towers. You could see short, medium, tall, etc. And while the towers are a little bit out of scale because the Endermen are pretty much the same heights or taller than some of them, it's obviously just meant to give a general look. And if Lego actually want to make them accurate, it would cost significantly more to buy this set. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this end build. Now let's take an overview of the final set. But yeah guys, that is pretty much it for this set. For being one of the earlier Minecraft sets, this is actually a very strong one in my opinion. Obviously, it being a bigger set, it benefits from having more content and stuff like that to make it look accurate. With this set containing 634 pieces, I think they use it pretty effectively here. With these small purple studs used on the towers, you could argue that it's being used to, you know, up the price and up the pieces, but I think it does give that little bit of detail / texture that we know that Obsidian has, that purple tone, and just adds to the aesthetic aspect of it. Definitely gives them more of an end vibe with the purple and black. The dragon is a tremendous build for sure. And those extra little details with the end portal, the ender egg, and the spawn platform makes it feel very complete. You could argue that the price per piece is a little high, but you also gotta remember it includes a light brick. That's up to you if that's extra value or worth the value of the set, but overall I'm pretty happy with this. You get a great Ender Dragon build, a good layout for the end, some towers, not to mention the portal and small little platform where you can put your Steve and pretend he just entered, if you're really into that. But yeah, 4 figures, 3 being Endermen. this Ender Dragon build and the rest included, I think is definitely worth the value. But anyways, guys, that is pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will be doing a comparison with this end set to the most recent one to see how they really pair up, value, figures, and all that fun stuff. So expect that in the near future. But if you enjoy, you know what to do. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.